All right, welcome back, guys, for another race day recap. We have been to the Xfinity Series today at Darlington. We also got to witness some of the Cup practice and qualifying from the infield with our passes today, and we ended our night over at Florence Motor Speedway. So it was an action-packed day. The Xfinity race was surprisingly boring. I really thought it was going to be action-packed, a ton of racing. But Justin Allgaier had other plans. Let me tell y'all something. He absolutely stunk the show up. He won both stages, and then went on to win the race in dominating fashion. This wasn't something that was close. Someone was right there. Austin Hill was probably the closest, but he remained probably a half straightaway behind, you'd say?
Not that far behind, but yeah. I mean, the only person that was going to contend, I think, was Cole Custer, but he had them mishaps in the pit early in the race there, and that just kind of messed him up from there on.
Yeah, Cole Custer had that pit gun malfunction, man, and that ruined his day almost pretty much because, Darlington is it's a racy track, but it is hard to pass. It's narrow. You can't just go dive bombing off in there 3-4 wide. So that ruined his day. But hey, Cole did rebound. He ended up going back up to P3, so that's pretty huge right there. Oh, yeah, he doesn't like Cole Custer. I forgot about that one. Also, a favorite, William Byron, had to start at the back due to the rain coming in, canceling their practice and their qualifying, so they went by owner's points. So that car doesn't run every week. It doesn't have a real large amount of owner points. He started dead last. William ended up cutting a tire down, hitting the wall, and he went down 3 laps. He also rebounded, ended up having a good day. I think he might have scrounged up a top 10 around there. He did look pretty quick, though. But, that was kind of disappointing. He was my pick to win today. The Xfinity race went relatively caution-free, too. The first 2 stages, no cautions. Even when William hit the wall there, had a tire go down, he was able to get around the pit road without it scattering, debris going everywhere.
Haley Deegan caught one of the cautions.
Yep, Haley.
Such a good-looking race car to get tore up.
Yep, in Stage 3, she brought out the first caution in Stage 3. That was a shocker to me. She had a tire come apart. Did she get into the wall? I do believe she did end up getting into the wall. If not, she did spin down right there in front of us.
The tire tore the whole rear end of the car off.
Yeah.
Just ridiculous.
Yeah. Our second caution would occur in Stage 3 as well. Kyle Sieg spun coming off of Turn 2. That ended up causing the entire field to pit. Every car that was on the lead lap came in to get tires. Justin Allgaier's pit crew, however, really came in clutch, got him out in front of Austin Hill, where he would go on ahead and lead the remaining 16 laps and win the race. Next, we're going to go on to the Cup Series practice. That started the whole day off. My man, Michael McDowell, after the news of him leaving Front Row Inspire, he's been the talk all week. The first domino to fall in silly season. He was at the top of the board. I do think it was something to do with the track being green, though, because it was in his first 2 laps, and everyone in Group A was significantly quicker than Group B. Did you see anyone in practice that kind of stood out to you? The Toyotas seem to have some speed.
I'm tired of the Toyotas having speed every week.
Yeah.
Like I told you all weekend, I'm still keeping my faith alive for Christopher Buescher. The man's hungry. The team's hungry. Him and Brad both are hungry. Darlington, you got to drive. You got to hold on. You got to get up on the wheel. I think both of them two are ready to do that tomorrow. And, man, maybe they can give Ford their first win of the year. Yep. This is kind of crazy, honestly, because I feel like I just hope that we don't sit for 400 miles and it be one of the same repeat over and over winners, even though I am a huge fan of Kyle Larson and I am a fan of the Hendrick Motorsports guys, but damn, I'm tired of seeing all of them just they're controlling the whole entire race week after week after week. Let's let somebody else up there and get them fighting for it. This is a good track to do it because, like I said, you got to be on the wheel. You can't just sit in there and ride, or you will never get to the front.
Yeah, that's 100% true. Darlington is definitely a driver track. So not only do you got to have a good handling car, you got to have a driver that's not afraid to get up near the wall and really have good racecraft to know how to pass there, because you can find yourself in a bad position, a bad spot, trying to make some ground up at this track and get pinched in the wall, or just really get caught up in someone else's mess, and that's what you got to avoid. I will say, Hendrick's driver Alex Bowman, The team seemed to struggle pretty bad in practice. That's something that I noticed. He was 17th fastest out of his group out of the 18 cars. Bowman did hit the wall at one point. The 48 did seem to have a little bit of quarter panel damage. Nothing too terrible, though. He did end up rebounding, though, in qualifying. He ended up going 9th overall in his group. Still not great for a Hendrick car, though.
Just cancel his contract. Send him to first front row.
Oof.
Just cancel
Hot take. Some of the drivers I also ended up tagging the wall during that practice would end up being Tyler Reddick, Kyle Larson, Denny Hamlin, and Kyle Busch. So some pretty notable names already getting close to the wall. I personally thought that it was kind of early to hear that many drivers and that high end of name drivers getting in the wall already in practice. Were you surprised at all there, Skyler?
No, it's Darlington.
Right.
Lady in Black, too tough to tame, but let's go back as today. I watched Justin Allgaier tame it. We'll see who can do it tomorrow, but I don't think it matters who you are. You could be Dale Earnhardt and you could be Juan Pablo Montoya. You can't just come in there and say, I'm a good driver, I'm going to perform at Darlington. It's just, no matter who you are, you got to be on your game, be up on the wheel.
Yeah. Austin Cindric was the fastest in the 10 consecutive lap average. It was Austin Cindric, Christopher Buescher, Kyle Larson, Todd Gilliland, and Michael McDowell rounding out those averages. Like I said, the practice was a little weird today with Group A just kind of having some dominant times. However, Kyle Larson and Christopher Buescher were Group B drivers. So could that be some telltale speed in the long run for them two cars? I guess we'll see tomorrow. We're going to go ahead and move into qualifying. Group A, Buescher topped the board. It was followed by Reddick, Truex, Gibbs, and Byron. Some of the notable people to miss the cut line in that qualifying group was Christopher Bell, Joey Logano, and Noah Gragson, who just came off of a great run in Kansas. And not only did he miss it, he was 18th place, guys, in that group. 18th place. Not a good way for, Noah. We've been saying he's the leading Stewart-Haas car. He's been the one heading the charge, and not a good start to his weekend there. What's your take on any of them drivers missing it?
It's too early to be throwing shade at Noah, man. Calm down. That's my boy Noah, even though he's in a Ford and I'm a Chevy man, but we'll see what happens. That's all I can say about Darlington tomorrow is we got to sit tight, see what happens, and we have this conversation tomorrow. I'm making a ride back to Florida, back home. We'll have an interesting conversation, I think, because everything that we're projecting or seeing today in practice and qualifying is probably not the way it's going to finish that race tomorrow, in my opinion. I think somebody maybe even in the mid-teens starting will be the winner.
Nice. I agree. I think it's going to be a race of attrition tomorrow. I think your car is really going to have to hang in there. I think you're going to have some long-run speed, especially after seeing what I saw today in the Xfinity Series.
And you're going to need some good pit crew. So
yes,
the wear and tear we saw on some of them tires standing down there on pit road, even after just running some practice and qualifying, Darlington is eating up some Goodyear tires now, let me tell you.
Yeah, Darlington has a ton of character. It hasn't been repaved in, I think, over 15 years. I think it was like 2008. So, it's got character. It's worn. It's going to go through tires. It's going to eat them up like a cheese grater, that's the kind of racing that I think the NASCAR drivers have been preaching for in these podcasts and shows. They're wanting tracks where they can show off, their talents along the lines of being able to save tires, especially our veterans. They don't want a car that doesn't wear tires. You can aero block. It's wide open, all the downforce. I think these guys truly want to drive these cars again. And that's something that, us as fans have got to encourage NASCAR to go, back towards, whether it be, trying to find a better tire solution or more horsepower. I have faith they're working on it. I really do. I think they want to put out a great product. So I got faith in them. Back to our qualifying. Group B, Denny Hamlin. He topped the board in Group B. That's Skyler's favorite driver. He was followed by his car that he owns, Bubba Wallace. He was second. Keselowski in third. Larson in fourth. And Ross Chastain in fifth after coming off of his Truck Series win last night. So can Ross carry some momentum in? You know what I mean? That could be really cool. And Can you do a double? When was the last time we saw a double done in one of these cars? And it's been a while, I feel like, since Kyle Busch era, maybe. Some of the notable people in that group that missed the cut line was Kyle Busch, Ryan Blaney, our defending series champion, didn't make it into the final round, and Chase Elliott. Now, let me tell y'all something. Chase Elliott ended up 16th overall in his group. I was giving Chase Elliott a ton of props on kind of like coming back to old Chase. You know, he's been struggling the last few weeks, and giving him some props, and he kind of comes on out here and stinks on up in qualifying. So he could be one of the ones, like Skyler said, that comes up through the field and can be there late in the race. Got any take on any of those guys that missed the line, or nothing?
Waiting for tomorrow, brother.
Heard. All right, so our final round of qualifying to set the top 10 for the Goodyear 400. Our starting lineup is as follows. It is Tyler Reddick, Brad Keselowski, Christopher Buescher, Ty Gibbs, William Byron, Larson, Hamlin, Wallace, Ross Chastain, and Martin Truex Jr. That rounds out your top 10 for your starting lineup. I just want to go on ahead and note, too, I know Skylar touched on it earlier, the RFK cars, man, starting second and third, coming off of a huge week at Kansas. Not only Christopher Buescher, but I feel like Brad Keselowski was a little slept on. Brad had a amazing, he had an amazing car on the long run, guys. If we could have got some long runs there, I don't think anyone would have been able to touch Brad. I mean, he was literally blowing doors off of cars. Another thing to note on that, they're the only Fords in the top 10. They are carrying the banner this weekend for Ford. I think they're the ones to watch. I really do. I think Christopher Buescher's hungry, but I think Kaz might be a little bit hungrier, just a little bit hungrier than Christopher here, and I think his experience is going to pay off with tire saving and just being able to racecraft around Darlington. So
we'll see.
Yes, we will see. So tune in tomorrow for our race day recap after the Cup Series race. We'll be heading back to Florida, so we'll have plenty of time to talk and be touching on all kinds of topics, news, anything that we might hear. Some of the rumor mill stuff. I've been hearing a lot of rumors floating around the garage, guys. And silly season is just beginning. It is truly just beginning. It's going to be a very exciting year. So y'all, hold tight, buckle up, turn left, go fast, keep it on the track. We'll see y'all tomorrow.